Good morning, live from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Uncle Dan here. What I want to create a little context for what we're doing today. We are doing research today um, because we want to. We're doing research. I'll explain why in a second. You know that the business that you're in, and like any business, runs on a series of recurrent conversations. It's like the same conversations over and 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 over again, right? So we got inbound calls, and there's like 100 different inbound calls that come into a typical auto repair and tire business every month. 100 of them. I've measured it, right? Obviously, we listen to lots of calls and everything, but we boil it down. When you collect enough calls for a company like Triple T or Same Day or Neighborhood Tire Pros or whatever, you realize that of all those 100 calls, there's only about 8 or so that really mean anything to the business from a business perspective. You got tire calls and brake calls and alignment calls and service oriented types of calls, flat tire calls, LOF calls, stuff like that. You add it all up, there's about 8 or 9 different ones that mean something, right? Now we have a structure of how to talk, on inbound calls. We have a structure for what to do at the counter by talking to people for a minute about the company and explaining. We have a structure on outbound calls, right? So what we want to do today is take a look, and this is where the research is coming in, guys. I want to go around the room, and I want to have you guys talk about one of the most important recurrent conversations that occurs in your business, which is brakes. I want to get some feedback from you guys. I want to see how would you explain to a customer that doesn't know anything about cars, doesn't know anything about braking systems, how would you explain to that customer that they need front brake pads, brake maintenance, they need rotors, and they need a brake flush? What's the story? What's the story that you're going to tell this customer that doesn't know anything about cars really? They just know they want to get to work and they want to be safe. That's, that type of thing. So let's just go around. Jeff, anything to add, Jeff?
No, sir, that's it. Yeah, just need to convey that in terms they understand is the key.
In terms they understand. So let's just start right from the top. Bobby White, are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Bobby White. So this is research, guys. Research. And then what we're going to do, my promise, we're going to come back to you with some ideas and some analogies and whatever. After doing all the research, we're going to kind of come back to you with some things that we're going to share with you that are going to make your life easier about brakes. And then we're going to pick the next topic. I don't know what that is yet, but we'll figure that out. So anyway, here's where I want you to start, Bobby, right here. Jeff could be the customer today and say, Jeff, I got good news for you. And we're working on the oil change and and talk about the good news. We're working this approach, right? And then come down here to box 2 and say, look, at the same time, I want to do some basic brake maintenance as follows. I want to do, put on new brake pads. I want to do new rotors, and I want to do brake flush. And here's the key, what we're trying to uncover today. Let me tell you why, the reason, right here, second line down here. The reason I want to do that is and explain to him in layman's terms why you want to do this stuff. Make sense,
Okay.
Bobby?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. Go for it with Jeff.
All right. Hey, Jeff, this is Bobby. I've got some great news for you.
All
We've
right.
completed the oil change, and while I was doing that, I had my technician go ahead and take a look at all of the brake pads and the filters and hoses and fluids. And you've taken great care of this vehicle. It is just in immaculate shape. I do want to go ahead and do some brake maintenance on it, though. Reason being, we actually measured the brake pad linings on those brakes, and you're worn down to about 2 millimeters all the way around. So that's on all 4 corners of the car. Each wheel has a brake set of brake pads on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and put some new brake pads on it. At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and resurface the rotor and get the whole thing taken care of for you today. I've got a grand total to get that whole job done for you, total at $523.62. Now
Okay.
that includes all the parts and labor. I also give you a lifetime warranty on those brake pads. I can get that done for you by 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I can get a ride for you as well if you need.
Okay. Hey, Bobby, did that include that? You said something about some kind of flush.
I didn't mention a flush, but if you'd like to add on the maintenance flush as well, we checked your brake fluid and it was okay right now. If you do want to go ahead and flush it out at the same time, some people do that. It's not required though.
Why would I replace the brake fluid?
Over time, it absorbs moisture, and so it can affect the inner linings of the brake lines. It's a lot of technical stuff, but those brake lines are made up of an inner lining made of copper. You've seen what happens when copper gets moisture on it, right?
Okay.
It starts to corrode, so it can cause some damage to the lines long term. Right now, I don't see that damage taking place, but it is always, recommended to flush those fluids out because they do
Okay.
get old.
And how much was it?
Total was $523.67. That includes the oil change too.
All right. How much was it, Bobby?
$523.67.
Bobby. How much was it?
It's $523.67 in cash today, or I could set it up at $40 a month for you.
Beautiful. I'm in. Sign me up.
It only took me 3 times.
You forgot who you were talking to.
Yeah, I know.
You forgot. Some feedback from me, Bobby, is that, and this is why we're doing this exercise, is that I think it got a little bit technical for me. And this is the exercise. What we're trying to do, guys, is come up with stories to tell people about their braking systems today. We'll work on other components as we move into the future, but we want to come up with stories that really just make it so easy that that customer just goes, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get Dan. Let's get Billy or Justin, or both even, to do this same scenario. Let's see what they come up with before we coach this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How about it,
You
Billy?
there, Billy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good
Yeah.
deal,
So
man. Give me a call.
let me just
Hey,
be clear. One second. Let me just be clear that what we're looking for is that you're going to do some brake maintenance that includes the pads, new rotors, and the brake flush. And the big thing we're looking to do is understand why. Explain why you want to do that to Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. This is Billy over at Same Day Auto Repair.
Hey.
I just want to let you know we've completed the oil change on your vehicle. And we went ahead and did that 30-point inspection I spoke to you about.
Sure.
I tell you what, your car is in fantastic shape.
I was afraid you was going to tell me it was bad.
No, you've taken really good care of this thing. There's no leaks on it. The belt looks good. The hoses are great. All the fluids look good. But I tell you what I want to do today is some basic brake maintenance. Your brake pads are getting down to about 2 millimeters. So we definitely want to replace those before they damage the rotors. The rotors we need to resurface. Over time, those rotors, the pads, they seat together. So we want to resurface the rotors so that new pads can seat with the new seat with the rotors. Also, we want to do some basic maintenance on your fluid. Over time, your fluid attracts the moisture out of the air. So we want to flush that brake fluid to keep your brakes in tip-top shape performance-wise, so they won't cause a brake fade or anything. I can get that done today for $562.27, or we can start you up on some payment options at $40 a month.
Good job, Billy. All right, good deal. How about it, Justin? Give me a call.
Oh, Justin, he's in there. He's not in here right now.
No,
Oh, he's not. Okay.
Oh,
I'm right here though.
Tucker's on there.
Tucker, there you go. Tucker's
There you go, Tucker. Yeah.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Hello.
Hey Jeff, I've got Tucker from Same Day here.
Yes, sir.
I've got some fantastic news. Got your oil change done. Check the vehicle over as a complimentary service we do for all of our great customers. Car's in great shape, man. I can really tell you care about it. Now, one thing we did notice, brake pads are quite thin. Rotors are warped. I'd like to get new pads, new rotors on it, flush the brake system, and I can get that done today. It's just simple maintenance that we need to get done on the vehicle before it becomes a problem. I can get it done today in the next couple of hours. I can get you picked up from work. I can get it put on a payment plan. Our total today is going to be $565.45, and we can get that done with as little as $10 down today, Jeff.
Okay. All right. Good job.
All right.
Good
I'll
job.
give you a call as soon as I'm finished up with it, and I'll send a guy to come get you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. What do you guys think? Anybody's stand out from Bobby to Billy to Tucker?
I think
Anybody's?
Bob, fantastic job.
Shut
Okay.
up, Bill. Hey, you know what I'll say just from listening to all three of us and thinking about how we talked, Dan's absolutely right. We are too technical, from down to telling them how many millimeters is on the pads. It needs to be something that my grandmother would understand.
There you go.
Brake pads are worn
Right.
down to about as thin as a penny. Something
Excellent.
that they use
That's
every day. And then if it's something to do with the rotors, or I think warp is a really good term because people understand what that is.
Yeah, and a couple of things we want to point out is, in your thicknesses, again, pennies, use a penny, the thickness of a penny, which they start out at maybe 10 pennies thick. Okay, so you can use that thickness of a penny that nobody has to question that. They can hold it in their hand. They can visualize it. Okay, and the rotors, to give somebody a better idea of rotors, this one was Randy Callie's, but you picture a hat. Well, the rotor, the brake pad sets on the bill of the hat, and that's how the car stops. And if those get warped, what you're going to feel, Miss Smith, is that when you go to stop, steering wheel shakes real bad if the rotors get too thin. So we want to prevent that and put new rotors on it as well. And then on the brake fluid, the best analogy we found is a couple different ways. You change the oil in your motor. How long has it been since you changed it in the brake system? Everybody knows you got to change that. Well, it's the same type of thing for different reasons, right? Or it's like cooking oil, frying fish or chicken. How many times do you use the same oil to fry the chicken? Do you use the same oil every time? No. Well, that oil, you heat it up, you cool it down. You heat it up, you cool it down. You heat it up, cool it down. Brake fluid, you heat it up and you cool it down. You heat it up, cool it down, same thing. Now, especially if you're speaking to someone that has no clue about a car, which one of those, those might resonate a little bit better than copper lines and moisture in the, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not that you're not
moisture in the
wrong.
brake fluid.
Yeah.
Nobody
Right,
was wrong.
Right. That's
But
the point.
it's just that, if we don't want to cause confusion, and the more plain we can be, the better off we're going to be in closing that sale. Another great one that Too Tall brought up was brakes and how they clamp against the rotor. Was your bicycle that's got the brake over here, and you see that clamp go around the wheel and those little pads on it? Well, that's the brake pads. That wheel is considered the rotor in this case. So everybody's probably had a brake with a bike with the brakes on it, with the clamping brakes on it. So
I usually just use my foot.
put your foot down, Flintstone style. It is Oklahoma, right?
Just stick your foot in the tire.
So that's what this is about today, guys. Is we want to give y'all the ammunition to, if we can convey this better to our consumers. It's just they put all their guards down. They're like, oh, okay, I get it. So
Yes.
What it is,
complex, if it's
yeah.
too complex, or if it's not explained at all. I went for brakes recently. I have a 2010 Subaru. I love the car. It has just turned 100,000 miles on it. And I went and the guy said, you need brakes. So I got the brakes done. And I came back to pick up the car. He goes, you need struts and shocks. He didn't explain anything to me. And my initial reaction I'm a skeptical New Yorker is, no, I don't. I'm not getting it done because I didn't. And then Jeff explained it all to me how it all works. I'm going, okay, it's like now I'm ready to get at 100,000 miles. I'm ready to get the shocks and struts. I
I'll
probably
make him
need
drive to Tennessee now to put them on. So
to. But guys, this is great work that we're doing today. I want to hear from a couple more people. I like to hear from Randy Chernus. Are you there, Randy?
Yes, sir.
Let's hear what kind of stories Randy has to tell us about. So the game is, Randy, we're down here in box 2 on the outbound approach, right? And we really want to hear what's the reason why. You just told me, Jeff, you told Jeff I want to do front brake maintenance, so I want to replace the pads. I want to give you new rotors, and I want to do a brake flush. And so now you're at the point where you got to explain why you got to do this. That's what we're interested in.
Okay. Are you ready?
yeah, let her rip.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, Jeff, Randy here at Chernus Tire World calling you back to let you know the condition of the car.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, thanks for taking the call. So we finished the oil change, checked the car over for you. Everything looks good. You'd asked me to check the brakes because you said when you were stopping, you kind of felt like you were rumbling like your
Rumble
tires were
strips.
square. So I went
Yeah.
ahead and checked that for you. And guess what? You need brakes. It's just that simple. So we just need to do some maintenance on the brakes. Going to need to change the pads, change the part it stops on, which are called the rotors, and change the fluid in the system. That way we've got you back running 100%. They come with a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty. The whole total is going to be $562.42 today. Or I've got payment plans as little as $40 a month. I'm going to have it ready for you about 4 o'clock. And will you need a ride here or will you be coming down?
I'll be coming down.
All right, then I'll just give you a call when I'm done. I'll have it ready and you'll be back on the road.
Okay, good deal.
Thank you.
Have you had
Pretty simple.
great explanation. I like that. Have you had anybody question a brake flush?
I have
Really?
people ask me a little bit about it, yes.
Why? Okay.
But I mean, I usually just tell them, oh, we need to do it because it gets too much moisture in it. It's just not potent. It's like getting a watered down drink at the bar. If you order scotch and water, if you wait a couple hours, you'll just have water. So we don't want that because the fluids would operate the brakes.
Ever explained it as in there's oil in your brake system because oil doesn't boil, all right, and brakes get hot, right? So if your brake system has water in it, water boils, and if you have water in your brake system and it starts to boil, then you have no brakes. Okay.
Well, I haven't explained it like that. I mean, I can get as technical as you want on it, but I haven't
Well, I mean
explained it like that. I just don't go
that's
into a
not.
ton of detail. I
Yeah,
let
I'm
them
just
understand what they need to know. If they want to be technical, I can be very technical, but
sure.
you don't really need to.
Yeah.
Right. I think, Randy, you know what I like about what you did? You are authoritative. It sounded like you were Jeff's car guy already. You had achieved that relationship with him, that you were his car
Yeah.
guy. And so matter of factly, you made the assertion that, look, you need brakes. I inspected it. I did the inspection. You need brakes. So here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do the front brake pads because they're worn out, right? I'm going to give you new rotors because that's what stops the car. And they have to be matched up, and you got to have the two working together, the pads and the rotors. And we're going to do a brake flush. So everything's 100%. And that's exactly what you said. Everything's 100%.
If they don't want it, they're going to stop you. And then you can go into your sales stuff. But in the most part, you're going to close them right off the bat.
Yeah, I liked what you said without getting into much detail at all. And again, I think that's very effective if you're already the car guy. If you're the car guy and you say, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and I'll have it done for you by 5. And you'll be good to go. Everything will be operating 100%. And tell them about your warranty. Everything's covered, and I got payment plans. And I think it can be that simple, guys. Out of everything that everybody said, I personally, my if I was Randy, if Randy was my car guy and he said that to me, I'd be going, okay, done deal.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing left is the time. Just
Yeah.
close. Making sure the time worked out for him. But other than that, it would be done. So
And the
he
thing was,
had
he didn't get into mills. He didn't get into moisture in the
right.
in the system. It wasn't. I didn't think it was. It didn't. To me, let me ask you, Billy. Billy, how did that sound to you? The way he did it?
I thought it sounded really well. It's quick and easy and to the point.
Boom.
And if he's right, if the customer has any questions, then he can get technical.
You
Yeah,
can
then
go
you can get
deeper.
technical
You
or
can go
go
deeper.
deeper.
Yeah.
You can go deeper. Randy said he can go as deep you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I like
I mean, you can turn it around and ask them. Well, if they get technical with you, say, "Well, you do want to stop, right?" They say, yes. Okay. Well, that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you don't want to have any more damage. You don't want to go any further. We need to get this done today. It's a matter of urgency here. So you can go as deep as you want, but if you keep it simple, you're going to be fine.
Absolutely. Okay. Awesome.
Who else do we have here that we could do some research with? Let me see. Ronnie Spurgeon, are you there? Can you talk, Ronnie?
I'm here.
He's there, buddy. Hey, everybody, clap.
Hey,
We got
what's going on?
Ronnie. Ronnie's here with us, guys. Good work, Ronnie. Ronnie, you wanna pipe in your 2 cents here, buddy?
Sure.
All right. So here's the
Um,
game. You're calling Jeff, right? And you're telling him that you want to do some brake maintenance, not necessarily front brake maintenance, but you want to replace the pads, give them new rotors, and do a brake flush. And we're interested to what your explanation is, how this is all going to happen.
okay.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
Jeff, it's Ronnie at Same Day Auto Repair. How you
Hey,
doing?
Ronnie. Good.
Hey, I got your oil change done and looked the car over. Man, this thing, you take good care of it, Jeff.
Oh, I
Everything
thought
looks
you was
good.
calling to give me some bad news.
Oh, I never give bad news. I only give the news I have to. The hoses look good. The belts look good. Everything looks good. The tires are almost brand new. What I do want to do for you today is your car guy, Jeff, is I noticed that the brake pads are getting thin. We need to replace the brake pads. The rotors are warping a little bit, so we need to replace them too. And I want to change that brake fluid too. I can get all that done for you today. Have you done by 3, just like I told you. We could even use somebody else's money to do it today for free, and you won't have to pay nothing today. And so the total price will be $523, and like $523.27, and I'll have you done at 3.
That sounds great.
All right, Jeff. Like I said, I'm gonna be your car guy. We're gonna take care of you, and I'll give you a call, and we'll get you fixed up.
Awesome. Sounds good. Great job, Ronnie.
How'd that sound, guys? I think very similar to what Randy did. This is what I'm going to do. This is why I'm going to do it, and I'll have it done by 3. If there's questions, they'll come back to you.
Yeah, he was pretty. He had kind of taken on, like Randy, he had taken on that he's my car guy, and there was no question about whether he was going to do it or not. This is what I want to do,
Yeah.
and this is when it's going to be done. So that's great when they take on that particular persona. They kind of have to say yes. They have to say, oh, okay.
You're leading the way.
Yeah.
That's why. It's just that you lead and they will follow. And if they have questions, they'll come back to you. But here's what I want to do. Here's why I want to do it. I'll have it done for you by 5. It's only going to be $534.22 or whatever it is out the door. So guys, here's the message. The message for me today is to practice this approach. You all, each of you is going to present to customers today. Take out page 9, and before you present to the customer, practice with somebody in the store. Take one of your coworkers and say, all right, look, I got to present this ticket. Let's practice it and run through the approach and make sure and give each other feedback. Like we're doing here, make sure it sounds simple to the customer and make sure that you're leading the way, that you're in charge, you're the car guy, you take on that mantle, if you will, that as your car guy, here's what I want to do for you, Mrs. Jones. Here's why I want to do it, and I'll have it done for you by 4 o'clock. Simple. Any other thoughts, Jeff?
Great job, everybody. Appreciate
Yeah,
your
really
participation in
nice.
this and everything, and just think about how you're conveying that message to people, and just be as clear as possible and explain how it's going to help their situation, not necessarily the technical stuff. So
Let me just go around the room. I just want to ask. We got about 2 minutes, 3 minutes left. Bobby, do you practice before you present to people? Do you ever practice?
Bobby's an ace. He don't have to practice.
Is he still there? I don't see if he's still there or not. Billy,
Yeah,
you there, Billy?
they had to turn their mic.
Yeah, I'm
There
here.
they are.
Yeah. Do you practice before you present to somebody? You go to somebody and practice your presentation before you present, or not?
No, I don't go to somebody and practice, but I do kind of run the scenario over my head.
Okay, that's important too. And I encourage you to work with your team to practice with them so they can say the words out loud before they go and present. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a singer singing a song, you want to practice out loud.
Yeah,
In your
makes
head is
sense.
one thing, and then but it's different when the words come out of your mouth. So all right, guys, cool. Very good work today, guys. Randy Chernus, anything else to share?
No, I do write everything down on a piece of paper in an organized fashion, so that I know what I'm going to present: the air filter, the brakes, the rotors, the shocks, the struts, and I have it in different categories, but I have it all right there in front of me, separate from all my notes, so that I'm very clear in the objective.
Good. That's very good. That's what I'm talking about, guy Billy. That's what, just run through it and say, all right, here's what I'm going to do. This, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, boom, and this is what it's going to. So you organize your thoughts before you just present. It's all about telling a coherent story about what you're going to do and why you're going to do it, guys.
And ask for the order.
Yeah, tell them what you want to do, right? Tell them, this is what I'm going to do for you. Your car guy, here's what I'm going to do, and I'll have it done by 5 or 4 or whatever. Good work, man. Anything
Great
else,
job,
Jeff?
everybody. No,
Yeah.
Thank y'all for being here.
Yeah, great, guys. We'll see you Tuesday, all right? Have a great weekend.
I'll try the next call. I didn't make it this one. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. All right.
We'll see you then.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Bye-bye, Ronnie. Good work, buddy. Good to hear your voice.